Welcome to the Wall Street Journal Digital Network. I'm Lee Hawkins. Michel Martelly announced last week that he's running for president of Haiti against Wyclef Jean, a founding member of the multi-platinum group The Fugees. Wyclef's bandmate, Pras Michel, is endorsing Martelly instead. This, of course, is causing some controversy in the hip-hop community. Guys, thanks for joining us. So there are a lot of people out there that say, basically, in the hip-hop world, right, since that's the world that you run in, I want to ask you, are you hating on Wyclef Jean, or is this a legitimate run? I mean, this is not about Wyclef Jean, or this is about
It's not about Wyclef Jean. This is about Haiti. We need to change. It's time to stop the direction we're going into. We're going toward a catastrophe. And we're not running against Wyclef. As a matter of fact, we welcome him.
And I want to give you a chance to respond to some of the criticism out there in the hip-hop world where people say...
I mean, listen, obviously, look, I wouldn't be here. First of all, I started the Fugees. Wyclef came in the group. Without Wyclef and his musical ingeniousness, I wouldn't even be here, and vice versa. Wyclef is a dear friend. He's a brother. He's a cousin. It's just politics. It's a matter of, do I believe that he can take Haiti to where it needs to go to? No. Do I agree with what he's done for Haiti? I think what he's done for Haiti, as far as bringing a national spotlight on it, second to none. I mean, he's done the best he could, and I applaud him for that. But now he wants to be the commander-in-chief in Haiti. I do not feel like, after the devastation, after the 200 years of corruption that's been going on in Haiti, I just don't believe Wyclef is fit to go and lead. That's all it is.
Right, so this isn't a personal thing.
It's not even Wyclef. I spoke to Wyclef maybe 2-3 months ago. I mean, it's not even about that. It's just more about where Haiti needs to. It's about Haiti. I'm not looking for no political position or elected official position in Haiti at all. It's just about the people. My people have been suffering for 200 years. There's too much history, great history from Haiti, that a change has to happen, period. And that's all I'm fighting for. The great city of Chicago, where our commander-in-chief, Barack Obama, is from, was discovered by a Haitian. I mean, there's a lot of history, so we have to now, it's my duty as someone who's been privileged to be in the position that I'm in, to have a platform to speak for those who can't speak. That's all it's there for. Now, Wyclef believes, and he has the right to, he believes he can lead. I believe he can't. It's just having a natural, good, healthy, debate, and whoever's the best man, and if Wyclef wins, we're going to support Wyclef.
We did ask him when he was in here. I did ask him about if this effectively means his candidacy and also the opposition between you two in regards to the race. If this effectively means that the Fugees will not reunite, and what do you think?
Listen, let me tell you something. If Wyclef called me right now and said, "Pras, you want to do the?" I mean, obviously after. Let's say he didn't win, right? He said, "You want to do the Fugees?" And Miss Lauryn Hill says she wants to do the Fugees. I'd be more than welcome to think about it and possibly doing it. So it doesn't affect, it's not going to affect our personal relationship. It's just a political thing.
Welcome to the Wall Street Journal Digital Network. I'm Lee Hawkins, and I'm here with Michel Martelly, who is running for president of Haiti, and also Pras Michel. I'm sure you recognize him from the Fugees, and he is here to support Mr. Martelly in his candidacy for president of Haiti. You're also a musician for more than 20 years, and now you're running for a Haitian president, and you're also running against Wyclef Jean, who we had in earlier this week. And we wanted to talk to you about your platform, specifically in regards to the financial state of Haiti right now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I'm running under the platform Réponse Paysan, meaning the answer from the peasant. And they feel like they've been neglected over the years. They have no support from the state, from the government. And it's time for them to let their voice be heard. I'm joining them to make change happen in this country. They represent 60% of the population, and by improving agriculture in our country, I believe we will create wealth. We will
through the agriculture.
To the agriculture, we will create we will increase growth sharing. We will create, and as a matter of fact, it's a necessity on the foods from the food security perspective. Back in the days, Haiti used to be a big exporter of cocoa, coffee, sugar, and right now we're not exporting anything at all. We're even importing coconuts from other countries, and I think it's time to change that. And this is why I joined my voice to theirs to change this in Haiti.
Okay, so you're really looking at empowering the underclass in Haiti through the agricultural economy to grow the economy that way. Also, a lot of talk about you versus Wyclef, and specifically, Pras, you said that you support Mr. Martelly here because you feel that he's more competent than Wyclef, who was actually your bandmate, is your bandmate in the Fugees. And I wanted to talk with you about what makes you the most competent candidate.
Well,
you're a musician yourself. You have a similar background.
In order to lead a country, you need to know the inside and out of the country. I've been living in Haiti for my whole life. I'm 49 years old now, and I've shared the people's pain, their different troubles, their complaints, and I understand much more than somebody else who's been looking from the outside.
Do you have specific government experience? What specific experience do you have for running? There's a difference between running for office and running an office. So in terms of being an administrator, someone who's able to appoint candidates, what kind of specific experience do you have?
Well, first of all, I believe that we don't just need somebody who has experience in governing. We need somebody who's ready to make change happen. We need somebody who understands, first of all, we need good faith. I've been studying the situation down in Haiti. Many things do not happen just because of a lack of good faith. We need somebody who can inspire our people. The real problem in Haiti is not just money problem. It's not just a power problem. The real problem in Haiti is the fact that the people themselves they have a self-destructive mentality, and this is the worst problem that we need to deal with. Before you give me money, I need to know how to handle money.
How do you deal with the self-destructive mentality of a collective?
You need to be able to inspire your people first. You need to be able to educate your people. You need to be trusted and loved by them so they can follow you. You need to sell them that dream. They need to understand the dream. They need to agree with you. And then it becomes possible, because just giving money, for instance, I know there's a lot of money being offered to the Haitian community now by the donors. But let's say with that money I start building a bunch of nice hospital buildings everywhere with glasses and all around, and then there's a riot next week. What happens? They break down everything. They tear down everything. So right. Before you start implementing infrastructure, or as you're doing that, you need someone who can inspire the people. You need to start changing that mentality. Right. It's very important. And if a leader doesn't identify this as the biggest problem, then he becomes a problem himself, because we've been getting money from donors for a while and things haven't changed.
Right, and we've talked about this in the past when we've had you in here, Pras, about concerns about corruption and the money, specifically the aid to Haiti, not reaching the ground, not reaching the people there. Is that still a concern? Can he help to clean that up?
Well, like you said before, you need a transformative figure, someone who's going to come here and have both sides to be able to bring them together and unify them. That's the key for Haiti. See, the problem is you got to change the mentality. For example, there's a sector of people in Haiti who feel like they don't need to pay taxes. Then you got the masses he's talking about that if an election happens, they don't like the election, they're going to start rioting. You have to change the mentality. You need a leader who they're going to trust. Almost like Aristide in the very beginning. When Aristide first came in, they would have done anything for him. because they were so enamored by him. They were in love with him. It's the same aspect that Michel Martelly possesses. They love him and they trust him. So obviously he's going to need a bunch of politicians and the experts around him. That's what he's building right now.
Right.
But as the leader, he has to be able to know that he can bring both sides to the table, and they're going to give him free will and have faith in him.
Regardless of whether you win or not, you're clearly an ambassador for Haiti. And I just wanted to ask you, what do people not know about you? Because so far, so much of the information about you is in regards to or in relation to your opposition to Wycliffe, but not enough about who you are as a candidate.
Well, as you mentioned, me being an ambassador, I've been an ambassador for the protection of the environment in Haiti. So I've been going through the most remote areas and doing work to protect our environment. And based on this, I can tell you also that any leader who's ready to come down to Haiti and doesn't know about the complexity of the situation down there is bound to fail, because it's very complex. People are ignoring basic concept of society, concept of sharing, of loving, and compassion, and living in community. You know, community. I mean, living brotherhood and stuff like that. So I think it's very important for a leader who wants to come down and solve the problems in Haiti to understand that these concepts are being ignored and they regulate society. And this is what we want to do. Start a new country, go toward a new direction.
Michel Martelly, thank you so much for coming in. Also to you, Pros Michel. We're going to continue to watch your candidacy as this election unfolds. For the Wall Street Journal Digital Network, I'm Lee Hawkins. We'll see you next time.